I want to tell you about what happened to me a couple months ago. It was very, very traumatizing. I had left my office at 57th Street, where I had just phoned in to a radio show hosted by my friend Nick Behoon up in Vermont. And I got in the subway and I went down toward my other office because I had to prep this camera for my office mate Ken Brown, who co-owns the camera with me. So I got out at 23rd and I was walking down 6th Avenue and I walked past this old church which has been home to a number of businesses, but none of them have been able to succeed. They all seem to go under for some reason. It's almost as if the church is cursed. So I was walking by this one section where there's this little enclave with a veil of spruce trees that shield it from the street, and it's been the home to a number of failed wine bars. And this dark urge kind of took a hold of me to go into that enclave. Now mind you, it was about 10 o'clock at night. It was totally dark inside, dark even on 20th Street, and there was nobody around. But I decided to go inside and see what was there. So I opened this gate and I went between the spruces into this darkened enclave between sections of the church. And I remember I heard a voice telling me very distinctly, "Don't go any further." The voice sounded a bit like my cousin Theodore Teddy Regal. But I heeded not his wisdom. I continued into the enclave. And as I was exploring in there, where there was stone flooring, I heard a rustling sound, which I thought might be a cat, perhaps Joel and Cray's cat, which I knew had escaped from their house not too long ago. So I moved to the rustling, but there came another sound. And it was a sound that could be made by no earthly cat or beast. It was a kind of a keening, a sound that cut right to my soul. And at that point I knew not what dark impulse compelled me forward, but I continued to move toward that sound. And I passed through another veil of spruces, which I hadn't even seen from the street. And what I saw on the other side was beyond any paranoid daydream or eldritch hallucination. What I saw was there, half embedded in the wall of the church, was a creature, black, with scales, dark wings, and beneath a mass of seething tentacles. It may have been injured, for there was a shimmering fluid beneath it. It's blood, I can only presume. The sight was so grotesque, the only thing that would have made it easier to fathom were if my friend Sean Welsky had been there, as he is a fellow director of psychological thrillers and curator of the dark. Or perhaps Dan Byers, with his extensive knowledge of colonial-era zombies. But whatever branch of creation this supernatural beast belonged to, I was not able to comprehend it, and I staggered backward. I blundered out of that veil of spruces out into the enclave, and then quickly opening the gate back out onto the street. I had not taken but a few steps when I was fortunate to run into my hometown neighbor, Martha McSherry, which she was able to calm me down as I was gibbering in a state of almost madness. Ever since that night, sleep has been elusive, and I'm constantly haunted by the sight in my mind's eye of that creature. I know not from whence it came. I think I need some medication or something.